Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. One moment here. I will get the screen share going on. Okay, I'm loading my Ninja 8 charts here. They're taking a little while. My hawk chart is not cooperating. Why is that? Let's see if I can reboot it. Oh, actually, none of my charts are loading. What's going on? Oh, duh, you forgot to turn on. No, my data feed is on. Okay. Um, Here, I'm going to fire up the Ninja 7 charts for today again. Bear with me a moment. Obviously, I have done something wrong. Loading up my Ninja 8. I'll deal with that. Oh, wait a minute. Are they almost there? I'm not sure why they're taking so long to boot. I don't know. Is that just me? Anybody else having trouble with their Ninja 8 charts taking a long time to load? Yeah, Ray says him too. Like they've been booting for over 10 minutes, pushing 15 minutes, and that's not right. I don't know why it would take that long to load. All right, well, we're not going to wait for them too much longer. Yeah, Frank says for him too. Yeah, Ray says after that it will close and the data feed will catch up. All right, bear with me. I'll give them just a couple more minutes. I wonder if they would load faster if I didn't turn the data on first. Usually I turn the, oh, I don't know if it matters. Usually I turn my data on, then I boot my charts. No, it's still not responding. All right, let's see if I can disconnect. Yeah, now I've locked everything up. Frank asks, I don't have the trading tabs. Is this a separate install? I think you're referring to these tabs down here. Um, you got me, Frank. All I did was build 4 charts and I put each of the tools on the charts. All right. Here I'm gonna have to force it to quit. Bear with me. Okay, last chance. All right, we'll force that and I'll fire up the Ninja 7 today. Yeah, Ray says I turn on the feed first, then open my workspace. I'm beginning to understand why the programmers are having fits with Ninja 8. Frank asked, did the yellow tabs install with each system? I guess so. All I did was change a few colors. I just put the, loaded the software on it, and that was that. We will revisit it tomorrow. Well, this is one way to avoid opening range and doing anything silly. Okay, thanks for the tip. Ray says if you don't turn your data feed on first, if you load your charts first, then your data, you essentially end up waiting for your charts to load twice. See, Ninja 7 loads in a snap. Oh well. What do I know? I'm not a programmer. Okie dokie. And let's take a look here at the daily chart, as I like to do for reference. Yesterday, very bullish day, but you know what? All that bullishness came early. Most of the day we were in a bit of a sideways funk, although there was a push again toward the close as we anticipated. But for the most part, it was a very neutral day. You can see we're getting closer to touching the trend line, so it looks like somewhere, well, currently we're trading 67.10. If we hit the trend line today, we should be pushing 67.50, it looks like. and a nice little bullish push. So comparing the volume with the bar, I would say that's probably an appropriate amount of volume for that bar. But it does appear as though we may be running into a roadblock soon. So something to keep a lookout for. Richard, I'm with you. Richard says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Welcome to the world of technology. I just got a new telephone after finally retiring my iPhone 3. It still works, by the way, except it's gotten to the point where it's starting to drop the network. So I got an iPhone 8, which is fine. It's not as terrible as the Samsung my wife had, which I swear that phone was possessed. It did so many things on its own. It was annoying and disturbing all at the same time. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Words I tend to live by. Well, a little bit late for the first in-sync eagle signal, but it came right here, and it looks like it had tremendous follow-through. My goodness, that would make your day right off the get-go. Very, very feasible trade. Didn't look so pretty when it developed, though. It's really one of these trades you have to take on faith. You're playing the probabilities that the first in-sync eagle signal has a tendency to work out, to at least find its first profit target, which it does. I pointed out to you Raptor traders, you can do the same thing on your Raptor. So your bands are stacked here in a bullish fashion. So you would be looking for your first clean buy signal. And in this case, it just happened to be a number 3 signal as well, a pair of them. Also with some very good follow through. Okay, good to know. Ray says, I love my iPhone 8 Plus. Well, you know what? The deal I got on it is unbelievable. I don't know if the Costco near you also has a cell phone kiosk, but ours does. And now I know why they're always lined up well down the aisle to buy their cell phones there. Just so happened the day we went in, there was nobody there. And yeah, my wife and I picked up a couple of brand new phones. And they gave us so many Costco credits, we actually paid for the phones and had $300 left over, if that makes any sense. I wasn't arguing. All right. Market a little bit on a bullish bent here this morning. Like I said, as we get closer to the 67.40, 67.50 zone, we're going to have to pay attention. It looks like we do have a resistance line posted near there, 67.37 3/4. Probably not going to see this one, although it's not unusual to see the market overshoot trend line. No real gap to speak of this morning, which is a little unusual. Normally the overnight, leaving us with a bit of a gap to start the day, but not today. Big block of buying going through the Geiger counter as well. No doubt that was responsible for that, or largely responsible for most of that rally higher. The buyers have left themselves open to a reversal, though. Not a big one, but a move back here around 67.10. That's certainly doable. I don't know if they would push all the way back to the opening lows. Here around 66.90, 66.95 maybe. Okay, the Raptor did not produce the number 2 signal, the counter trend signal, but that's what it is. The reason it did not produce the signal, we're a little bit too far removed from the high, but it is a number 2 signal all the same. We could kind of throw our just in case order below here. It's not an order I think you want to go too heavy on because of the major uptrend. I don't think you want to get too cute trying to short it. The Falcon working a possible trend change signal now at the same time. The Hawk almost doing a first micro macro cross, but we got spoiled here with the yellow bar on the Hawk. The Hawk produces so many signals, I'm not sure that you need to do a second push on this one. If the market continues lower, there we go. We got our first micro macro cross signal to sell. And there we go back into yellow bars. So that spoils that signal. Okay, and I think we will close that one down as well. Oh, here they come one more time. All right, the Falcon, really the only one. Well, no, we've got a first micro macro cross on the Hawk. So we've got a couple of tools here that we can take a look at, perhaps shorting. And again, it's nothing that you want to get too cute with. We've got a trend change signal here now on the Falcon. So the trend line going from green to red. We have this characteristic down, up, down pattern producing the signal. The Hawk also with the first micro macro cross to short. First micro macro cross printing right there, but you know what? For the sake of a couple of ticks, I probably would have allowed it to take out the low. The Raptors slowly drifting toward the hard edge. Oh, we got some nasty slippage. Oh my, they slipped us a good 3 ticks on that. Slipped a couple ticks here on the Falcon, making me wonder why the market is so thin this morning. We actually got a couple of trend lines here to focus on. Pardon me. What I would like to see is at least a couple of bear bars just to show that the sellers are still interested. This is why counter trend trades are so difficult, because you can see we broke the lows and yet zero follow through. The other danger with counter trend trades, of course, is that they block you from taking with trend trades, which is probably the most annoying reason for not taking counter trend trades. All right, if I can get a couple of bearish bars to form, there we go. I'm going to pull my stops in. I'm going to bring them in above that swing high. I will do the same thing here on my hawk. It's pretty much do or die for the sellers now. And it ain't looking all that promising, as we're hitting a lot of yellow bars and this overall sideways skid. No, don't think I'm going to get this one. You see, we've broken the bearish trend line. The sellers have to push lower from here, or I will get tagged out. a couple of bars lower. These lows right here, that's the big deal. Oh, look at that. Flinching again. Scoundrels. Well, we know there's a fair amount of buying support around the 67, 22, 23, 24 area. Got to see the market tick 67, 21, 21 half. Come on, you can do it. Is there a report out at the top of the hour? Let me check my reports calendar. And what is today, the 16th? Nope. Nothing earth shattering. Huh. Okie doke. All right, well, getting a little bit more bearish follow through now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my break even right to the bottom of that bar. I will do the same here. Oh, Hawk's already at the break even and hit its target. Hooray! And this one I'm going to, I was going to try to jam my stop in there very tight. Just as it kissed my profit objective. Ah, stinkers. Oh well. Break even better than a loss. I was going to try to bring my stops in as the market approached the profit target. Just kissed the profit target. Not enough there to fill it. I wanted to bring my stops up a little bit, capture some of that open profit, but they bounced back just a little bit too quick. Okay, a good question here from Mo. And this is something that I want to make clear for everyone if you haven't heard it already. Mo asks, hi Eric. Hey Mo. I have a NinjaTrader related question. I have a friend that uses Ninja 8 and he has major problems with it. Have you been hearing the same? I use Ninja 7 and have no problems. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Ninja 7. As many of you know, if I had my druthers, I'm not one for updating software very quickly. I tend to always stay with the last stable version. In Ninja swears that Ninja 8 is out of beta, but they continue to find bugs with it. The only reason I'm moving forward with Ninja 8 is because Ninja 8 is the new standard. It is the software that they are promoting. And since we are a software company, when people buy our software and then come into the trading room, they say, oh, why am I running Ninja 8 and you're running Ninja 7? Plus, there's also the stigma that new is better, right? If there's something new, it must be improved. And so people always flock toward the newest whatever. I have no problems running Ninja 7. Ninja 7 has always worked. But because Ninja 8 is the new standard, you're going to see me migrate the room and my charts over to Ninja 8 as well. It's kind of like computer. Well, it's like everything technology related. It's like most things in the world, but certainly technology related. It's like the new Coke. Remember when they came out with that? And then they had to bring back Coca-Cola Classic. Well, there's no such thing as new Coke anymore. I've never understood why car companies can't build an engine and then stay with that engine. Like, you guys have been building cars for 100 years. You think you would know how to build an engine. But every model year, there's a tweak to an engine. Microsoft. I think Microsoft crested at Windows 7. Don't even get me going on Windows 10. I hate Windows 10 so much I almost loaded Linux onto my brand new laptop computer. I find it a very, very frustrating program. Yeah, no problem, Mo. Happy to help you out on that. Yeah, like Richard said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But somehow, I guess all these software programmers and car engineers and widget manufacturers feel they have to reach a new level, and so they put their thinking caps on and figure, okay, what can we do to it to make it better, stronger, faster? I do believe the Ninja 7 download is still at NinjaTrader website. So you can just search Ninja 7 download and your friend can go back to the Ninja 7 platform. It's funny, there's some people, I get emails daily from people requesting certain software for Ninja 8, and they say, I hate Ninja 7. I don't know why. Graphically, yeah, there's a bit of a difference between Ninja 7 and Ninja 8, but it's not like Ninja 7 looks like Windows 98. Oh well, whatever. Like I said, it's because we're tied at the hip with NinjaTrader. All our software runs on NinjaTrader. That's really the only reason I'm migrating over. I have no problem running Ninja 7. Yeah, yeah, like Keith says, here's my biggest pet peeve with Windows 10. Keith says I have Windows 10 on a chat room computer, and the automatic updates are really annoying. Since when do you not have control over your own computer? That's what I really hate about Windows 10. Like, hey, if Microsoft, you want to give me a computer, you want to, shell out the $1,500 and give me your computer, then you have that thing update whenever you want. You have whatever programs on there you want. But if it's my money, then that thing is going to do what I want it to do. If I don't want it to update, what's it to them? But I warned you, don't get me going on Windows 10. We'll be here for an hour listening to me rant. It's bad enough when I start talking about risk-reward ratios. I come off my nut on that. All right. The market trying to head lower, failing. Now we've got another first micro macro cross higher here on the hawk. Given the context of the chart, that we seem to be in a bit of a sideways drift, I would probably advise the second push, but now we are way down here at the macro pullback, which seems like this is too long to wait. So I'm going to scrub that order. If we get a second push on the macro pullback, I may choose to bring my order in a bit. Are they going to give it to me? That might be, there it is. So this now, the second push opportunity on the macro pullback signal, which is this one right here. Now we are into yellow bars, so that's going to scrub all of that. 1, 2, well, we're possibly working a 4-arrow consolidation. You know what? It's just too sideways, too flat. We've hit this sideways skid. We'll see it a little bit easier here on the eagle. This is pretty much our trading range now, and we probably have to wait for the market to get outside of that range. Yeah, Ray says Windows 10, they are big spies. A friend gave me a video on how to shut off a lot of the personal identity. I know they allow you to shut it off at the outset. I'm always concerned that when they do those updates, that they reverse everything. Then you have to go in and shut everything off. And really, who has the time to do all that? Nope, harvesting your personal information has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Well, I think I pointed out before when the market's in a sideways trading range, and you can easily identify it as a trading range. The best plan, bar none, is to allow the market to break out, look for the retest, and then look to see if the market can stay outside of that trading range. Likewise, here to the top side, we're going to look for a breakout, we're going to look for a retest, and then we're going to look for evidence that the market can stay outside of the trading range. We're going to produce, if it can do that, it will produce signals to buy and sell. Anything within here, however, you're kind of asking for it because the market is very neutral. You may as well flip a coin. Heads we buy, tails we sell. The nice thing about waiting for the breakout is the market will put itself in a bit of a bind. It will commit one way or the other. So what I mean by that is we got the breakout, we got the retest, we can now set our sell order. Once we have the retest, we can place a buy order because the market will do only one of two things. It will either continue with the downtrend and fill our sell order, or it will stall again, in which case it has to fill our buy order. So if we're patient enough to wait, we can be rewarded with a reasonably high opportunity or a high probability opportunity to take a trade. Waiting is boring though. Yeah, see, I put a little bug in Ray's ear now. He says, good thought. I have the time and I'm going to see if they reset my settings. If you still have access to that video, if you want to forward me the link, I would appreciate seeing it. With my Windows 7, when I first got it, a friend of mine who did tech support for a software company said that the first thing you should do is turn off your updates. Same thing on your telephones or iPad or any of that. He says if it's working now, it will continue to work. And all those security upgrades, I'm using air quotes when I say that, are not always security upgrades. Sometimes they are advertisements that they will load. Like my Windows 7 has never ever prompted me to upgrade to Windows 10. Because I turned the updates off. It's never had a software conflict. It's never crashed. Yeah, Les says me too. I refuse to let my iPhone update. I think that's part of the reason my iPhone 3 lasted as long as it did. What? You mean, Eric, that a software company may put software on your phone to disable it? No. Say it isn't so. I know, maybe I'm just getting to that age where I'm getting too cynical and paranoid. All right, well, we're still in the sideways funk. We did produce some signals, no real follow through, as you can see. I suppose this trend change signal here on the Falcon would be one of our better opportunities right here. But now we're kind of struggling with that trade. One of the phenomenon of trending markets is that the market has to continue to make new highs, right? If it doesn't make a new high, there's no trend. Each bar has to keep going higher. Likewise, if the market is prone to reverse, it will now all of a sudden start to make new lows. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. We had swing lows back here. Well, now all of a sudden we've exceeded those swing lows, haven't we? After however many bars this is, about 20, 25, 20 bars, 25 bars, 30 bars. So whenever we start to take out, like here was a swing high, market couldn't take it out, market couldn't take it out, market took it out. That was bullish momentum. That should have headed higher. Now we have swing lows. Okay, the market took out the swing low. Is there any bearish momentum? Well, not yet. And our clouds pretty much show us that, along with just the context of the chart. We're very, very sideways. Although we are leaning to the short side. As we get closer to these lows, around the 67.17 area, there should be some buying. There should be a little bit of a buyer's kickback. Technically, I suppose we do have a rule of three signal. Depending how aggressive you want it to be on this, you could already set up your rule of three to short. So here's signal number one against the trend. Here's signal number two against the trend. We have the all-important test of the extreme. We have the test of the extreme, the failure. This is a rule of three signal, even though we only have two counter trend signals. Remember, this trading the breakout is a little riskier than waiting for the breakout to occur and the retest. The rule of three, as is the case with all counter trend signals, you can use it simply as an early warning. Ray says he's watching his ADX indicator and it's dead sideways since 10 a.m. Yeah, we're not getting very much out of the market this morning. I was hoping we would have a little bit more going on here. I'm probably going to have to duck out of the room a little bit earlier. I have an appointment in the city to get to, and if the market's just dead sideways like this, then there's not much point in hanging out. Okay, here now the bearish break. I got filled. I don't think they slipped me for a change. Nope, no slip. That's good. Now, hopefully this breakout, there we go. It's got a little momentum to it. You got to be careful for the retest, right? The market somewhere through here is going to try to pull back. The buyers picked up the market here. They should try to pick it up again. Oh, maybe they'll get low enough to actually hit my profit objective before we get the pullback. Okay, I'm going to manually bring my trade in now. Oh, really? Come on. If we got a support zone down here, oh, that's why. We're right at the primary resistance zone. That's what's hanging us up here a little bit. Come on. Come on. Gee, Bruce. I would think a move back to 67.05 would not have been that difficult. But we are really hanging up here around that 67.09 zone. I want to try to capture at least $100 out of the trade, but I don't know if they're going to let me. Well, there it is. I could punch out. But what's the fun in that? We're starting to lose our bearish momentum as the market now attempts the retest. So we've got the breakout from the trading zone. Come on, give me another bullish bar. Well, the lack of follow through here is impressive. What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for a couple of bull bars to actually show me that we're going to see a reaction. Remember what we're looking for after the breakout. We have to see a bullish push. This can sometimes take a while, especially on a day like today. Well, there's one bull bar. Where is the other one? No, they're not going to give it to me. As tempting as it is to throw an order in below just one of the bull bars, there's not a lot of commitment there. You can see the market will very often waffle, as it did back here, and then continue with the trend. All right, well, I'm going to have to wait on that for a little while. Just a very, very quiet day here. I think because the market is as slow as it is today, we're just getting that little bit of a drift. The big rally was higher. We will still see a pullback here to the breakout of this bottom zone. Very often the retest happens quickly, but sometimes it will take a little while. And it looks like this is going to be one of those times where it may be an hour or two before the market makes that retest. Once we can see the reaction, once we actually get a couple of bullish bars in our favor, we will know where to place our sell order. And given its distance to the retest zone, depending how aggressive you want to be, you may actually try to buy it up early and try to take advantage of that, the fact that the market will retest toward the highs somewhere. All right, everyone. I hate to trade and run, but like I said, I've got an appointment in the city and the market's really quite slow. So I think I'm gonna duck out early here. Doesn't look like we're gonna miss a whole lot here this morning, but I would be on the lookout for that. If you're trading your Eagle, look for a couple of bullish bars and then consider hopping in with a buy. If you're a Raptor owner, you're probably going to produce a number 2 signal or a buy signal somewhere along the way here after a little bit of a retest. All right, everyone. I will talk to you again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye for now.